Well, welcome back. I've got the, when we left off last time, I'd had the template made out. Well, I've transferred it over to a piece of scrap plywood that I had, a 1/4 inch marine grade Okumi I had laying around. So, and I beveled the insides and the outsides edges of this piece and beveled the edges inside and out of the hull, so I had a V around the edge of the plywood. Let me reset up and show you what I've got here. It's the way I've mounted it in, so let me reset. Before I could actually get this thing, you'll also notice too the color is different because the last time I didn't have the white balance on, and the right I had it on tungsten, and it should be fluorescent, which is now. Everything's going to be a richer color and not look so black gray like it was some kind of Fox drama of some sort, Fox network drama. I got the panel in, like I said. I've got these edges here beveled, and I have these screws. What I did was I took some fender washers I went to the hardware store and got, and then a screw. It was a number 6 by 5/8. And underneath this panel, I have another piece that's about, I don't know, 2 foot wide or 2 inches wide, going from about here up to here. And then there's a back support, but to hold that in place, I've got another kicker board that's wedged in between the bottom side of that little piece that's in here and then the top of the seat. And it's kind of wedged in to hold it in place, so this will give me something to keep it from falling through on. But once I had that in, I was able to I took a drill and drilled like I don't know, maybe an 1/8 inch hole, something for a pilot for the screw size, in at each of these positions, and then I ran the screw in. And as you tighten the screw in, it acts, because the washer hits the surface here, it can't go down any, but the screws are acting like, the Archimedes wedges, pulls this panel up, so it's, flush on the sides of the hull. But, get my big rapper square out here. On the other side of the hull, there's some rocker to it, and then right in here, there's going to be a flat cord where you come up on an arc and it flattens out and then it finishes the arc. I'm not going to be able to duplicate that with the this inset. I will check it once I get it all epoxied in place to see if maybe before I put the glass on, I may put a light coating of fairing compound on top of the plywood, but before I put the glass on, just to give it some shape. But I'm probably not going to worry about that. But what I'm going to do now is mix up some System 3 epoxies, just a straight regular silver tip, and then wet out these edges, and that'll kind of hold it in place. And then tomorrow I can remove the screws and then do a final wet out of all the spots that I can't get. And then we'll gel magic the remainder of the gap in here and then start working on that. So let me go ahead and wet this out with the silver tip epoxy off camera. You don't need to see that. And we'll come back tomorrow. Okay, you can see, get in here. You can see what I'm doing with my little Dremel and going around. I'll come in with a closer shot here in a second and show you what I'm doing, but I've removed the screws, and now I'm going to bevel in the edges, and then once I get that all cleaned up, and then I'll go ahead and put some, I'll probably most likely use Gel Magic in the grooves here. It'd be kind of like a jump stitch, and I always use the Gel Magic for the jump stitch. And being such a small volume, it's much easier to mix up the Gel Magic in the Utah tube without a mixing nozzle. I won't use one. I'll just pour it, squeeze it into a cup, and it comes out 2 to 1 right out of the tube, so I don't have to mess around with minute quantities trying to figure out whether I have a good mix or not. So I'll go back and finish this out. We'll come in for a closer look when I get done. Well, I've got it all cleaned up. Got it beveled back fairly well in here. There's a little bit more of a sharp edge down here, but that's because we had the layer of the glass tape underneath of the glass cloth, and then all of the well, not fairing, but yeah, a little fairing compound. And you can see right in here, I don't know if you can or not, is the seam for up, and up here is the other half of it, of the scarf joint. Where am I at? There we go. The two pieces of the scarf joint. This is either the top on the, see how this point and aft, this would be the top of the long sheet, because I always have the scarf pointing to the stern, so this one here would be underneath and pointing bow, but that's neither here nor there. So I got it all in. Let me mix up some Gel Magic and then use a putty knife to squeeze it in, and then we'll come back after that cures and I can go back in and see if I can watch the rain delayed Daytona 500. So let me come back after I get the Gel Magic on. This is what I mean by the Utah tube nozzle. It just squeezes out the end here, and I got my perfect 2-to-1 mix. And I don't have to use measuring, any kind of measuring tool or cup. It just comes out 2-to-1. And it's cold in the shop, so I'm gonna let this set up for a couple days before I do anything. Silver tip will cure overnight, even in as cold as the shop is now, but the Gel Magic likes a little warmer climate. It does cure, but it will take a little bit longer. Now let's see if that's enough. Mainly after filling the wedge. There's a little depression over here. If I have excess, I'll try to fill it up, but otherwise I'll come back with some fairing compound or easy fill it. Let me wipe some of this up. Use your paper towel to wipe off the tool. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and clean all this up a little bit, and then you don't need to see that. We'll come back later.